You're just one Roman Empire history exam away from a well-earned spring break. But there's one problem. You still have a ton to study. So, like many students before you, you decide to pull an all-nighter. Staying up all night goes against your body's natural rhythm, known as the circadian cycle. This internal clock controls your sleep-wake patterns and is heavily influenced by light. But for now, you're wide awake, powering through Julius Caesar's rule. As night falls, your eyes signal to a part of your brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, which acts as your body's clock. This triggers the pineal gland to start producing melatonin, the sleep hormone. It usually rises about 2 hours before your normal bedtime. Meanwhile, neurons in your brain release GABA, a chemical that slows brain activity and makes you feel relaxed. Your usual bedtime is approaching, and your body temperature starts to drop, a natural cue for sleep. But instead of resting, your mind begins to wander. Is it just you, or does that map look like a face? Throughout the day, your brain has been producing adenosine, a waste product that makes you feel tired. The more it builds up, the more sluggish you become. Time for a caffeine boost. Coffee blocks adenosine from making you sleepy, giving you a temporary energy surge, but it might also leave you jittery and anxious. You're crushing those flashcards. Right now, your brain is storing all this information in the hippocampus, which acts like a short-term memory bank. Normally, during sleep, these memories would be solidified and transferred to long-term storage in the neocortex. But since you're skipping sleep, you just need to remember this until tomorrow. Suddenly, your eyelids droop. You jolt awake. This is a microsleep, a brief, involuntary lapse into sleep caused by exhaustion. You stretch to stay awake, but your coordination is already slipping. Studies show that after 19 hours without sleep, your reflexes resemble those of someone who's had too much to drink. As the sun rises, your brain stops producing melatonin, and you get a sudden burst of energy. Despite everything, you're in an oddly good mood. That's because sleep deprivation temporarily boosts dopamine levels, creating a short-lived euphoria, which, unfortunately, can also lead to poor decision-making. The exam starts off great. It's all multiple choice. But then you hit the essay section. This is where things get tricky. Sleep helps your brain make connections between new and old information. So while you can recall facts, you struggle to see patterns or form strong arguments. You stare at the blank page, feeling stuck. By the time you get back to your room, you're exhausted and irritable. Your amygdala, the brain's emotion center, is in overdrive, while your prefrontal cortex, which helps regulate emotions, isn't working at full capacity. Finally, you collapse into bed, and nothing has ever felt better. After just one sleepless night, your brain and body recover fairly quickly. But if you make a habit of getting less than 7 hours of sleep, it can take a serious toll. Long-term sleep deprivation is linked to health issues like diabetes, stroke, and chronic pain. It also increases the risk of mental health problems like depression. Even your grades can suffer. Students with consistent sleep schedules tend to have higher GPAs than those with irregular sleep patterns. So next time you're tempted to pull an all-nighter, remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, or studied in one night. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it and want to continue learning more about topics like this, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss the next videos.